Good evening. This is Bros Radio, your number one business radio broadcasting from the city of Lagos. Today we have one of our flagship programs, Investors Education Series, that we have had over these years, intended to inform you and educate you on the goings on in the financial world and in investment world, in the capital market in particular. Again, this one is a topic that has become topical, particularly since the Central Bank of Nigeria sent out a directive on it. It's about dormant accounts, if you like. The secular name is Management of Dormant Accounts, Unclaimed Balances, and Other Financial Assets in Banks and Other Financial Institutions in Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria sent out this letter, call it a circular, call it a directive, to financial institutions, banks inclusive, banks and all financial institutions. The instruction was direct and simple. If an account had been dormant, you must transfer the balance on that account to CBN. There is an account that is called UBTF that you will transfer that balance to, pending the arrival of whoever that says he owns it. Now, the first thing we must be able to identify is what makes an account dormant. Why would an account be considered dormant? In the simplest term, in the general terminology, an account is said to be dormant if it has not been active for a period of 1 year and more. But for the purpose of this exercise and for the purpose of the CBN directive, CBN says an account is considered dormant by them if it has been inactive for a period of 10 years or more. So they shifted the post in order to accommodate this policy. 10 years or more considered dormant. What happens if an account is considered dormant? What must a bank do? What must a financial institution do? CBN directs that you must transfer the balance on that account to the CBN into an account that is UBTF. That's the name of that account. Unclaimed Balances Trust Fund. And after that period, what happens while it is there? Let's assume that the owner or the beneficiary, if you like, appears all of a sudden and says, I left the account in your bank. I want to draw. CBN will inform him that the balance had been transferred to CBN. His bank rather will inform him that the balance had been transferred to CBN. And what is he supposed to do? Now listen. If your unclaimed balance is transferred to CBN, you will now go to fill a form in CBN. That form is about your claim on it, not with CBN, rather with your commercial bank. They will give you a form to fill. And when you fill that form, it's called inactive and dormant form. When you fill the form, your bank will process it. There is an instruction that it has to be processed within 10 days, 10 working days rather, of your submitting it. And then if they are satisfied that you are the rightful owner, having provided the necessary information. Now, let me give you an idea of the kind of thing they will ask you to bring. Peradventure, you're going there. You're supposed to bring a valid ID. Valid ID in our Nigerian context. It's driver's license, voter's card, national ID. Photo ID that is issued by the authorities is considered valid. Again, you must provide evidence of where you are living. You don't just have to write, I'm living at 195 Ikorodu Road. Part of the evidence you must provide is utility bill showing that you live there. Utility bill, NEPA bill is one, Loma bill is another, and anything that has to do with utility, where you're paying water rent is considered utility. Then you will have those two. And then you go and do an affidavit. That affidavit will claim, you are going in that affidavit to tell them that all these things you're presenting are true. Then with the affidavit and all you have done, you go back to the bank. The bank will process these documents, and if they are satisfied that you are the rightful owner, they forward it to central bank. Again, the central bank may, in a way, release the money back to them in the account for you to draw. Central bank is not for individual bankers, so they cannot attend to you. You must go back to your bank. It must be the bank that you were banking with, that it was dormant in, that will attend to you. Then you go back to your bank. The bank, after CBN has processed it, you go back to your bank and collect your money. I think it's clear. It's clear. Now, let's take it this way. CBN says they did all those things to promote transparency and safeguard the fund. And I think they meant well by so doing. But the procedure must not be cumbersome, must not be such that the beneficiary will pass through the eye of a needle to claim the money that rightly belongs to him. So this is the issue of unclaimed dividend and balances, unclaimed fund, unclaimed balances in all forms of assets that had become dormant by the definition of CBN, which is 10 years of inactivity. Again, thank you for listening. And I believe I have educated you, particularly those of you that have written to ask, what is this policy all about? Why has CBN done so? And I want to let you know once again that they mean well by so doing. Thank you very much. Have a blessed evening.